session. Next, we have Crystal Peterson who will be speaking for you and talking to you about what local consumers actually want, customers want in order to find businesses online. So she'll be sharing with you some hard facts, some hard data to make sure that you are getting found by your customers. So once again, if I can request everyone to please take their seats so we can begin shortly. Thank you. Time slot to take the post-lunch session. All the blood is in the stomach, but I know Crystal is a fantastic speaker and she is here to really engage with you and to share with you some hard data, some research facts that will really help you get your customers found in a crowded marketplace. A bit about Crystal Peterson. She is the Director of Registry Services and Local Channel Management for Neustar, Inc. and is a key player in the growth of Neustar's .biz, .co, .nyc, and .us domain name products. Now, with the launch of .nyc in October 2014, Crystal helped make .nyc to be the fastest growing city extension in the world with the most domains under management. So with loads of experience under her belt, we are absolutely thrilled to have her here with us today. Please put your hands together and give Crystal a warm Mumbai welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. How are we today? Did everyone get fed? Okay, I'm going to take silence as a yes. So thank you so much for having me. I just wanted to tell you guys the shameless plug for my company here before we get started. But I work for Neustar, and Neustar is an information services and analytics company. We have many products and services, including the domain name registry services, as was just mentioned. But we also do a lot of services with security, business listings, and marketing services as well. And what I have to share today is a little bit more in our local search and business listings area. I have some data for you, so which is from a research study that was just concluded. So you're getting some hot off the presses research that I have to share, and kind of leading from from last year's discussion that I did around a digital brand and the devices that local searchers use. Today I have to share not only about the digital brand, but what are local searchers looking for when they're using their devices, not just about what devices they're using. Oh, bless you. So, and hold on just a moment, a little bit of a technical difficulty. Is it on? Please hold. I have a former career as a professional ballet dancer. So I could say that I could do a whole ballet up here for you while we're waiting for a new presenter, but I haven't done any of my dancing for almost 10 years, so I would probably scare you. So, but I do want to talk a little bit about, it started to move, a little bit about a digital brand. So before we get into some of the research data, what's really interesting in some of the questions that my colleague Fernando and I have received today is, for all of my customers that want a specific extension, generally they find it's the .com extension, how can we help them to get another extension? And I'm going to go from that platform. And really it's about what you want to do to build a digital brand. So if you're getting a domain name just because you want a certain extension, but you have to take out letters, you have to start misspelling it, really what your customers truly want is to be found online. And they want to be found online in a space where they know a lot of other people are starting to build their brand presence.
Technical issue. The manual. Just tell me to change the slide. I will change the slide. The technical issue.
So you need to go back a couple slides. There you go. Stop. Oop. One forward. So from a digital brand, so we have, if you start misspelling, if you start looking at a domain name and your website presence, and people can't remember what your name is, they can't remember how it's spelled, your customers aren't necessarily going to be found. And so if you have another extension where it makes sense for their brand, the extension, if they're a business, they get a .biz. If they have a club aspect, they get a .club. If they're a shop, they get a .shop, or maybe they get a .online. If it makes sense for them, then and they have a good spelling and they have a short, memorable domain name, that extension is still a very good space for them. Google just put out a blog yesterday that said that the extension does not necessarily have any effect on the SEO ranking. So having a .com that is fully misspelled isn't more important than having another domain extension that has full spelling. Actually, that domain extension that has a better spelling may get higher ranking in your SEO. So I encourage you to go out and look for that blog. You can help your customers to be found and to have that digital and memorable brand, even if it's not on a .com. .com is a great extension. It's been around for 26 years now. But there's some other good extensions out there, and .com is not the end-all be-all, even though it's a great extension to be on. And those people that already have a .com, they enjoy their .com. But for the many, many customers that are starting to come online every single day, and the many small businesses that are going to start now and in 10 years, they might not be able to find that ideal .com, and there are ideal extensions for them. Okay, so, nope, sorry, go back. So really, what are your customers looking for? As we had that, small insight into the digital brand, they really are looking for a credible online digital presence. That it goes to the domain name, which we just talked about, making sure you have website builders and hosting and all of those different types of products for your customers. But they want a meaningful and memorable digital brand. So having those SEO tools, having a brand consultancy, helping them with their logos, things of that nature to get them online. And ultimately, they want to be found both online and offline. So what are some of the local business listing services? Do they have maps? Do you have mobile website builders? Because there's going to be a lot of people that are looking for your customers from a mobile device. And ultimately, a lot of what your customers want is profit, right? Switch. So your customers want a meaningful brand. They want to be found online. Next slide. Next slide. So what I have to share today is some research that was just concluded last month between Neustar and comScore, and it's part of that being found story. We know that customers and consumers' local search is very sophisticated. What they're searching for, how they're searching, really how they're finding your customers' websites. Competition is very heavy, and businesses need to be prepared with the right information to put on their website so they can be found. I have 3 key findings here today from a local search study conducted, which polled 2,000 U.S. small businesses and local search sites so that we could gain a deeper understanding. Now with that, it was a U.S. poll but we have found that a lot of the mobile use is even more expanded in the India region, as I'm sure you know even better than I do. So a lot of this we feel will correlate into some of the local search habits that we have here in India as well. But this was a US study, so I did want to make that caveat. But the three key findings were mobile usage and mobile search is increasing. We all know that, but studies are proving it. Local search sites and engines are important in the whole scheme of things. And local results are preferred versus having paid results. Next slide. Some of the key highlights that we have from the study. Over 2/3 of our local searchers look to the natural versus paid results, just as I mentioned. Maps alone aren't good enough. You need hours of operation, you need other pieces of information and not just a map for how to find the business. 50% of local searches have a business in mind when they're searching. So when people are going online to search, they tend to have a business in mind. So having that, back to the digital brand, having a good digital brand to stick in those searchers' minds is really important. And then hours of operation are the top 3 most important pieces of information that people are searching for. Next slide. So I want to take you through the actual study. I need to be a little bit over here because it's a little bit data heavy. I really encourage you to, when the slides are posted, to download the slides so you can get some of this data that will be available. Next slide. So while 3 in 4 internet users now own a smartphone, tablet ownership has also risen to over 100 million devices in the US. Next slide. Corresponding, in India, there's over 100 million mobile internet users with the expectation to explode to over 300 million. So this is where we're connecting some of the data that we have from our US study into some of the results that we feel will be very similar within the India market. Not the same, but very similar. Next slide. Mobile commerce has attained a more meaningful share of the total e-commerce dollars, with the 2014 holiday season being an exponential growth area. Next slide. Mobile e-commerce, both smartphone and tablet users, has reached 10.7 billion in Q4, up 27% from the same time period. And while that statistic of 10.7 billion may not be the same, smartphone usage and smartphone commerce has been exploding everywhere where we have heavy smartphone use. Next slide. And as consumers are really shifting all of their digital activity to the mobile devices, the growth in the search market is being driven by those mobile devices and tablets, as measured by the number of searches that are performed on an hourly, daily basis. Next slide. Though the overall visitation to certain search sites has grown on all 3 platforms being a PC, tablet, smartphone. The number of visitors from mobile devices has grown more than double than any PC rates. 52% of online searchers say it's most important that local businesses offer mobile-optimized versions of their websites. Very important here. A lot of the tools that you as resellers or as web hosting providers have available to you now are website builders that have the mobile optimization. Google has come out with different statements saying that websites won't be ranked as high if they do not have a mobile optimization. I know we have, everywhere, people hear from Weebly, people hear from different mobile website builders that have the mobile optimization. super important to make sure that your website builder tools have that available. There's also products like GoMobi, other different types of products, but having that in your arsenal, very important. I'm sure I don't need to say it, but I did. Next. So what are some of the local search behaviors? Next. Next. Search engines are the most popular primary source of local business information, which is something that we also found in our previous research, a lot of what I had shared last year. And then local search sites are the second most used resource. Next. Almost half of local business searchers who use local search sites have accessed them via mobile, and about 1 in 5 are only using mobile for access. So it's really important to have those mobile sites ready. And then we wanted to look at, from one of the third key findings, how are local searchers really selecting a business? Local business searchers prefer local and natural search results over paid results, and local search results are considered the most relevant. So you have some paid placement. You can use that to gain some ranking, but really what you want to do is you want to really look for that organic traffic and that organic ranking that you can get. Just paid won't necessarily get your customers what they're looking for. Which comes back to those SEO tools versus just paying the search engines for ad placement. Not that that's not important, but really work on your content versus your advertising budget. The hours of operation were the most important elements of the map, followed by ratings and reviews. It's amazing how today we all look towards ratings and reviews as really important when selecting a restaurant, when selecting hotels, when selecting a place to go on vacation, when selecting almost anything. We're always looking for those ratings and reviews. We're also always looking for, well, when are they open? If I make the effort to get out of my house, get out of my office, and get stuck in traffic, am I going to find that business open? So, having your customers, making sure that they are listing their hours of operation, and then asking for reviews. I get asked for reviews all the time from businesses when I visit. When you go on vacation, when you go anywhere, you have the TripAdvisor signs in there, you have Yelp signs, you have all of those ratings sites, and as a crowdsource, it's important to, if you like something, let people know. If you don't like something, let people know so that they can improve it, and to also let some of the other folks and other searchers know. And help, if your customer is one of those that gets bad ratings, help them improve. Next. So for information that is expected on websites, you want to help your customers showcase, again, those hours of operation. And then also, it is one of the most helpful features in selecting a business. So local searchers, again, they're always looking for what is the most relevant information that I need right now, and especially on a mobile device that is going to be a smaller area of information. Next, in the US, the most common search category are restaurants. This may differ from India, and this is one thing that I'm not sure about, but for the US, most people are looking for restaurants when they're doing local search. More than half the respondents in the survey that we conducted were looking for restaurants when they used a local search initially. Next. So what does this mean? India, like the US, the mobile usage is exploding, and local search is exploding. So really, as resellers and web product providers, are your products ready for your consumers who are looking to build a credible and memorable digital online presence and a way for themselves to be found so they can build traffic? Also, do you provide business listing services? There's a lot of services I looked up. Let's see. There's hotfrog.in, Google Local, listmybusiness.in. I'm sure you guys know of even more business listing services than what I just mentioned, but are these services that you provide? Because the do-it-yourself model doesn't always work. It does for that first time, but then when your customers change their hours of operation, they change their phone number, they change something, having to go to all of those different business listings themselves, or for instance, if you are helping them build their site, you having to go to all of those different business listings. It's a tiresome and very long process. So if you have a business listing service, that's a very easy and time economical way to get all of your services updated, knowing that local search is one of the most important ways that your customers and or you can be found online. Next. So really it all comes down to, are you ready? Not just ready with providing a domain name or providing hosting or providing a website solution, but are you ready with the whole package, with those SEO tools, which I know many of you have, but with those business listing services and with the information to really be able to give your customers that 360 well-rounded experience to help make them come back. Because it's really, at the end of the day, about that service you provide, not just about if I can get the cheapest domain name or the cheapest website builder. But if you provide that service for them, you will have customers, more customers than you can imagine. Thank you. Were there any questions or anything? I think I have a few minutes. Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody.